Hi everyone, welcome to WW Designs. My name is Nikki and I thought I would do a video on my current planner and journaling situation, because what I started out the year doing, I realized wasn't quite working for me and I wanted to make some changes. So when the 1st of July struck, or just before that, I decided to rethink how I was doing things, and I thought I would share it with you. I love watching planner journaling videos on people's setups and things because I often get great ideas on what might work well for me. So I thought I would share what I've been going through the last 6 months and what worked for me, what didn't, because sometimes I might just have a good idea that would help you. So this is the current situation. Well, no, this is the situation I started the year with. And I'm going to start with the things that I've enjoyed, but I'm not going to continue with. So my whole planner situation, look, I've been doing decorative planning for many years and I've tried many different planners. But a friend of mine went to Tokyo last year and she gifted me, after I asked her to go and, if she had time, when she was in Tokyo, to go to the Starbucks Reserve Roastery and buy me their special traveler's notebook cover that you can only purchase here. You cannot buy it online. Well, she gifted it to me. She wouldn't let me pay for it. So I knew I had this in my hand and I was determined to use this as my planning system. But when I initially was thinking about how it was going to work, I ummed and ahed, but this is where I got to. So I purchased some inserts, and this is the 2 set of planners that you can purchase. These are actual Traveler's Notebook branded ones. So I started out the year. It's split into the 2 lots of 6 months, and I faithfully used this planner, and all well and good. I was enjoying it. I got to do my deco stuff that I love, and that's all fine. I enjoyed this, and the next 6 months I had to prep. I got all this ready and I started using it. Did I actually do the first week? Or did I not even bother? I can't remember. Yep, I did the first week. And we were just going to continue on with this. And then I had this thought that, nope, this is just not sitting with me. It's just not right. I realised for the actual planning side of things, what was not working was, I don't actually need a lot of space for my main planning stuff. I often write things in here just because I want to fill the space. For example, I always have my work hours in there, but my work hours don't change, so I don't need to write that down. I would put in here YouTube videos. Doesn't necessarily mean I would do it on that day. What I have and need to track and keep lists for is, yes, YouTube videos, ideas, swaps, things that I'm in, but assigning them an actual day doesn't work for me, because depending on, other than an actual job, I also do freelancing. So I sort of roll my week with what I have to do. And sometimes having things on certain days doesn't work for me. So I hatched another plan, which we will get to, and I started that on the 1st of July. So that's those 2. Loved them. They're fabulous, but I just realized that system wasn't working for me. So they are being put aside. Then the next thing was this. How was I going to do my journaling for the year? Normally I've used Stalogies and things like that, but I just wanted something different. I think that's all it was. I was craving something different. So I found this fabulous scrapbooky thing at Kmart, and same thing for the first 6 months. I happily used it. I did some, other than just memory keeping, I did a couple of different sort of spreads in here, and I liked this, but again, I didn't love it. And so I did it religiously for the first 6 months, and I'm very happy that I have all this here and it's done. But again, I just wasn't loving it. I felt like I had to fill up the space. So again, time for a change. So 6 months are in here, but I'm not continuing with that. So we can put that aside. So I have come up with a more compact, simpler arrangement. Now, every year I buy a diary. It's a page a day type arrangement. I don't use it as a diary. There's no decoration in here. This is just full of scrappy lists and all sorts of things. But the reason why I use a diary and not just a notebook, especially for the freelance work I do newsletters and things like that. So I use the date part of this for specific lists that apply to when I have to do those certain things. And then as I have ideas or I'm given suggestions on, for example, what to put in newsletters, I have it on the day that newsletter is going to be going out, and I keep a track of it. Or if I make a phone call for a quote or something, I put that information on the specific date that it happens or it's applicable. That way, if I want to remember when something was happening or whatever, I have it on a day. So, as I said, could have used a normal notebook, but I've been using this system. This is probably about my 4th year. And this is just my little Bible. So instead of sticky notes that you lose or you jot down things on a piece of paper, you can't find it. Anytime I write a note, a scrappy list, you name it, it goes in this book. So I don't use pieces of paper or lose things. I have everything contained in this. And honestly, this is probably one of the best planner type organizational things I have ever done, and I will stick by this forever because it works. Then we now come to our actual system that I am now using going forward. So I have my gorgeous traveler's notebook here. Flip it open to the first insert. So this insert, when I started this, my idea was lots of coffee deco because it's a coffee themed planner. This was actually for memory keeping. So I started this in January, added pretty deco because that's what I love doing, and then just put a note, a little something for each day. This then helped me have notes for doing this. So when I had time to sit down and do this, I would do, quite a few days or events in one sitting. I had all my little notes here to remind me what I wanted to put in my memory keeping book. So yes, this worked beautifully and I stuck with it until July. And that's when I decided that for my actual planning, so the things that I must remember, the events I'm going to, the lunches I have booked, whatever it may be, this is now my main planner. So let's flip to August. I fluffed around with this in July, but decided this would work. So if you have a look at this, at the moment, they are the main things that I have on for this month. Okay? Easy fixed. And I fill things out as I have to. And honestly, that's all the space I need for my main event things. I don't need to write down when I'm working. I know the days I'm working and the hours I work don't change, or if they do, it's a very rare occurrence. All that sort of stuff, I don't need to write that down. I know all that. So this is now my main planner. And this should work beautifully. And if for any reason I have multiple things I need on one day, I'm just going to put a little sticky note on top with one thing on it, back, and then something underneath if that's what I have to do. But otherwise, this is now my main planner. So then comes a need for somewhere. For example, I do a lot of crafting swaps and stuff like that. I need to write down what I have to do when I have to do them. Otherwise, sometimes I go, oh my God, I haven't done that yet, or whatever. So let's go to the next insert. This is my lists book. And I've got all sorts of things in here like online shopping, YouTube ideas, self-care, things that I want to try, you name it. I love lists, so I'm a big list girl. So what I've decided to do is simply create, so in the back half of this, so I've got plenty of pages, and I'm going to order some more inserts so I can continue this scenario on. I'm simply going to write a to-do list. What it is I have to do, leave a bit of space in case I want to jot any little notes down, and the date it must be completed by. That way I can glance at a to-do list and go, right, that needs to become my priority because it's due by the middle of the month or whatever it may be. And then I'm going to cross them out when they're done. Simple, no deco, no fluffing. This is an important list for me so that the commitments I make to other crafters or for other work things that I'm doing, I know I won't forget them. So I just make a habit of regularly checking this list, and voila. That's how I will take control of all of those things. I will have them all listed. I think this should work really well for me. And then we get to our third insert, and I obviously needed somewhere to do my memory keeping that includes photos and all that sort of thing, because I do love doing that. But I decided, just to make my life easier, because it just seems to be so busy at the moment, I don't need space for every single day. I don't need to write down that I went to work and it was a crappy day or it was a good day. No, but all the main things that happen, I want to journal about them. So, voila. This is another insert. This is just a simple blank insert. And so for the month of July, I trialed it. And I have loved this. So what I've done is just all the main things get a mention, and all the mundane things for the moment, just because I'm so time short, I'm just not worrying about. So absolutely love this. I'm so happy with this, and this is now what I'm going to trial. I will trial this for the next 6 months and just consider, does this work for me? Am I happy with it? But so far, after a month, this was a new edition idea. I only decided at the start of August to trial this. So we need to add to the to-do list, and of course, that's it. So now I have basically everything I need other than this scrappy book is with me. So even when I go on holidays, I can just take this with me. I have my planner, I have my list if I want to make notes or I think of things, and I have my journal. So there you go. I just thought I would share this. Some people are interested, some aren't, but I find it fascinating to see how other people stay organised and do the papery things that we all love to do, and I thought you might too. So there we go. This is what we're working with for the next 6 months, unless I hatch another plan. But at the moment, I'm loving this. So any questions, pop them in the comments box below. Please give this video a thumbs up. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.